An exhausted office worker becomes an artist's muse. Chaotic beauty ensues. What am I talking about? Well, let's see and find out. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Spiraken Manga Review. I'm your host Zan, saying konnichiwa, aloha, buongiorno, and what's up? Hope you're doing good and hope you're excited for another fun-filled episode of this awesome podcast you can find at www.spiraken.com. We're also on Bluesky and YouTube. Just type in SPIRAKN and I guarantee you'll find us one way or the other. And remember, if you are watching on YouTube, remember to like, share, subscribe, and click on that bell for notification for when we release new episodes. And with that in mind, let's actually get to it, because if you remember from that last episode, I spun that one that only the Wheel of Manga. And it did turn to be there reviewing a very unique manga, one which is kind of different, kind of, well, weird. But let's actually get to it, shall we? Because the one we're talking about is Friday at the Atelier, or Konyobi wa Atelier de. This is by Sakura Hamada, who also created the manga known as American Sack, which is a weird manga that's apparently a school manga about marshmallows. Don't ask me. But this is a unique manga about two individuals whose coincidental run-in creates a unique story between the two of them. Because who doesn't love a coincidence, right? And this is the story of, I said, Amiko Tamaki. She is an office lady who has a bit of an issue. She's kind of had it with life. Things are boring and humdrum. Nothing's gone her way. Nothing exciting has happened. Just things are kind of spinning their wheels. And she's kind of tired of it all. Because of that reason, she's kind of getting the idea that she should make a final exit. And because of that, she's plotting what she's going to do. And one thing she wants to do before she dies is she wants to eat a good meal. And she figured she's going to eat some saori. Now, for those of you who are unaware, saori is the Japanese word for a fish, which is essentially a mackerel. And what she plans to do, she's going to make a mackerel, have dinner, and then probably off herself. Kind of sad, but that's what she wants to do. Until she runs into a young gentleman who falls down in front of her, spilling saori everywhere. And this young gentleman, he sees the saori, he's like, "Are you okay?" And after he looks up, he looks at her, and suddenly it's like he has seen light for the first time. He is enamored. And he's like, "Listen, oh my God, you are so beautiful." Because he's seeing her holding this fish. He's like, "I need you. Come with me. We're going to do something." And because she's, like I said, she's ready to do a final exit, she's like, "Okay." And he ends up taking her back to his atelier. Turns out he is a painter, and he wants to use her as his model. And how's he going to paint her? Well, nude and covered in saori. Why is he doing this? Well, because he can. And she just goes with it because she really doesn't have anything else going on. She wasn't planning anything, and she's not really thinking straight. And when he brings up the fact that, you're beautiful, amazing, I'm glad that you decided to agree to be my model, she's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, sure. I was just thinking about the salary, but okay." And he's like, "But you want to do this because you're my fan, right? Who are you?" And he's like, "Wait, you don't know who I am? You went with a stranger to a weird place, got naked for him, and you're not a fan? You don't know who I am?" She's like, "No, who are you?" He's like, "You know what? Go to the shower, get dressed. I will explain the wonderfulness that is me." And he introduced himself. His name is Shunsui Ishihara. He is an eccentric and amazing painter of the current century who is beloved for his weird art. And he thought she was a fan of his. And after she cleans up, he has taken the fish that he had on her body, washed it, and cooked it for her and himself as a meal. And they get to talking about life and everything, and he asks what's going on. She just is very humdrum, and he explains his love of art, and he likes that she's eating a lot, but he needs her. So what he says is, "Here's the deal. I need you to be my model. You're going to be my model no matter what. Next time you come over, get here early." And she, because she doesn't have anything else, she's like, "Okay." And this begins the relationship between the office lady Amiko and the eccentric artist Shunsui, and their odd relationship that every Friday they go to his atelier and they paint. And what happens is tons of slice of life shenanigans over the next couple of. We don't know how long it is. We do know that it first starts off with a time skip of 1 year, and they're still doing this. And this leads to their weird, odd relationship that they have, where every day he covers her with different fish, he cooks it for her, and that's what he gets inspired by. So he's inspired by fish and by her. And they have this relationship where he feeds her after they cook, and they talk, and he obviously is in love with her, but she isn't picking up on the subtle, well, not subtle hints that he likes her. At one point, he's like, well, I know you're in love with me, so we'll go to dinner. Wait, you want to go to dinner? I thought we were going to cook here. And he's like, wait, what? Or he pays her for her job with money because he's her model, or she's his model, and he says, well, what do you want for your birthday? She's like, I just want a pair of socks. Wait. All the money I give you, I could buy you a Hermes handbag. I could buy you a Burberry jacket, and you want socks? Yes, I want socks. So he ends up buying 70 pairs of socks for her because he can't decide which is the best one for her. Or her shoe breaks. And he's like, oh, why don't you just buy a new pair of shoes? She's like, these are the shoes I bought with the money you first gave me. And he ends up going immediately back to the atelier with her to fix and paint the shoe to make it work, what was broken. It is a relationship between these two that's very slice of life, which is very romantic heavy, and I do like that element. But it is very odd, their relationship, and it doesn't really go anywhere. Like, there's introduction to a couple of other characters, but for the most part, we don't know much about what's going on with them outside of this weird relationship they have. We don't know about her job, why she wanted to final exit. We don't know any of that. We just know she was depressed for reasons they don't explain, and he's just a weirdo. That's about it. We do find a little more that she likes food. We meet her best friend, but that doesn't matter. The important thing is their weird relationship. And that's what this is about. It's about Amiko and Shunsui and their relationship. And that should be enough, but it is lacking. It is lacking a bit because it is one of the elements. Now next, big thing about this is an art manga. So how is the art? Well, when you actually see the art that's drawn or painted by Shunsui, it is intriguing, beautiful. It looks like a wood carved cutout. But when you see him working on it, or you see far away shots of his artwork, they're scribbles. You don't actually see what they are. Comparatively to a series like Blue Period, where every art piece, no matter what, you see what they look like. Even the ones in the background, you could say, that's a different art style from that one. This one, if it's not the one that's in focus, it's just scribbles. It's kind of a waste of the art, and some of the art looks like Macfill. I'm not going to lie, it's kind of a detriment to this series. Now, the other element, which is weird, is the pacing is fine, but this is a weird story that feels like it's a josei, but it's not. It's actually a seinen series. And I'm reading this through the first couple chapters. I'm like, this feels like a josei, but I have no idea what this is. And I gave this to Greta to read, and she was like, I don't know who the audience for this is. It's like it's for a very select niche audience and not for anybody else. And that is the weird part, is like, you don't know who it's for. Who's the audience for? Slice of life lovers? Maybe. Art fiends? Not really. It just, you're not really sure. And that's a little bit of a negative to this. And after thinking about it for a bit, because you had your main characters, the art style, the design, and the release, it's actually a legit release. It's a nice release by Yen Press. But overall, I was thinking about it, going back and forth. I'm going to have to give this our second lowest rating of typical reading material at a local corrections facility or psychiatric institute. Like I said, it's a very slice of life story with some decent romantic focus, but we don't ever find out why he really likes her. I mean, besides the love at first sight, there's no real reason why they get in a relationship. They skip all of those elements, and it's just kind of, the story is missing a lot of elements that they're just not focusing on. And then the art is not utilized to its full potential. This is a slice of life story, that's fine, but you can only go so far with a slice of life story. You need a little bit more, a tiny bit more for this to work. And that didn't work for me, unfortunately. Now, if you agree with me or disagree with me, just let me know. Leave a comment down below, or you can email me personally at xan, X-A-N, at Spiraken.com. or you can Bluesky me at spiraken.bsky.social, or if you're using X, at Spiraken. Just any social media site, just look up at Spiraken. You're going to find me one way or the other. And with that, let's actually get to the random question of the week, which is going to be, what sparks your creative inspiration the most? Everyone has something that inspires them when they're in a creative mood. For me, it's I listen to music. I listen to music when I want to be creative, and that kind of starts the gears up. I know another person who has to drink a specific soda. Another person has to have the TV on. Another person does it outside. What is the thing that sparks your creativity the most? Let me know. Email me, zanspiker.com, or leave a comment down below. And so before we go any further, I do have some news that's going to be coming up in a little bit. But before that, let's actually get to the manga releases for the week. And that's one of my favorite parts about this, is doing the manga releases for the week. So let's get to it. So this week we've got some really unique titles, starting off with The Barbarian's Bride, Volume 2. Then we have Beyblade Volume 1, Beyblade X Volume 1. Case Closed Volume 93. Destroy All Humans They Can't Be Regenerated Volume 2. This is the Magic the Gathering manga. Twisted Wonderland, the manga, Volume 2. Failure Frame, I Became the Strongest and Annihilated Everyone with Low-Level Spells, Volume 9 of the light novel series. Firefly Wedding, Volume 1. Glasses with a Chance of Delinquent, Volume 1. I abandoned my engagement because my sister is a tragic heroine, but somehow I became entangled with a righteous prince, the light novel, Volume 2. I Can't Refuse S, Volume 5. I quit my apprenticeship as a royal court wizard to become a magic item craftswoman, Volume 1. Komi Can't Communicate, Volume 32. Mao, Volume 19. The Most Notorious Talker One's the Greatest Clan, the manga, Volume 8. My New Life as a Magic Cat, Volume 8. Mysterious Disappearances, Volume 4. Reborn as a Space Mercenary, the manga, Volume 8. Sora and the House of Monsters, Volume 4. Spy Family, Volume 13. Stars of Chaos, Xiaopo Lang, and this is going to be the novel, Volume 5. The Strange Adventures of a Broke Mercenary, the manga, Volume 4. A Suitable Fetish, Volume 2. Tiger and Dragon, Volume 2. The Titan's Bride, Volume 6. True Love Fades Away When the Contract Ends, One Star in the Night Sky, the light novel. The White Mage Doesn't Want to Raise the Hero's Level, and this is going to be Volume 4. And then last but not least, we have Yashahime Princess Half Demon, Volume 6. So these are the manga releases for the week. We've got some great ones, some weak ones, some which were unique, some which are a little weird, but these are all the different mangas of the week. And for my top manga of the week, for me personally, here's what I'm most excited about. We've got Firefly Wedding, Volume 1. This is a story about someone who gets involved with a Yakuza in a wedding. This one is a very touching story and should be really good. Then we have Glasses with a Chance of Disappearance, Volume 1. This story, the jacket copy seems enigmatic, and that kind of makes me want to read it. I Quit My Apprenticeship to Become a Craftswoman, Volume 1. This series has been getting a lot of buzz online, so we're going to check that one out. Komi Can't Communicate, Volume 32. It's Komi, enough said. And then True Love Fades Away, Volume 1. This novel seems, well, it's going to be an interesting one-shot, so definitely worth checking out. So I am going to check these out and put them on the wheel of manga, but which ones are you most excited about? Let me know. Email me personally at Zan, that's Xan at Spiraken.com, or you can tweet me personally at Zan at Spiraken.com. And with that in mind, actually, let's get to it, because it's time for something a little bit important, something I got to really talk about. But you know what? I'm not going to have myself talk about it. Let's have Paz Zan talk about it. Sorry for interrupting the podcast, but I wanted to take a minute to talk about something kind of important. For those of you who don't know, my trusty laptop, the backbone of my editing process and support for running panels at conventions, has stopped working. And without it, creating new episodes and delivering the content you enjoy has become a bit of a challenge. That's why I'm reaching out to all of you right now for some help. In order to fix the laptop. I need to replace the motherboard, update the screen, and do a couple of other things. And because of that, it's going to cost about $500. And for that reason, I've started a GoFundMe to reach that goal. Now, if I'm able to reach the 500, that is awesome, amazing, and great. But if I'm fortunate enough to raise beyond that, I'll put any extra funds towards upgrading other components or for a long-term solution to keep this podcast running smoothly for as long as I can. For as you know, I want to keep doing this till I'm an old man who has to read manga with thick glasses and a magnifier glass, and I intend to do that. And any help that you'd give me would be appreciated. Now, your support, no matter how small, can make a huge difference in making this achievable. And to show my gratitude, I've come up with some fun rewards for anyone who's willing to donate. Now, if you're willing to donate just a single dollar, you'll get a heartfelt shout out in an upcoming episode from me to you. If you want to go a little bit more, with $5, the price of a cup of coffee, I'll send you a personalized email thanking you for this generous thing you've done. If you want to go $10, the price of a manga, I'm willing to give you some behind the scenes updates and a video of me. Well, let's just say Greta finds it hysterical to hear me messing up an edit and cursing 15 times, but you'll get that as well. If you're willing to donate $15, you'll get an exclusive access to a mini episode made specifically for donors. Was it this mini episode or review of something which I never thought I would ever review, but I find it kind of funny and hysterical? And maybe an old review friend is going to be on that episode as well, but you have to wait and see. At $20, if you donate that, your name will be featured in the show notes for the next 3 episodes. If you want to go $25, you get to suggest a manga for me to review in an upcoming episode. As long as I haven't reviewed it before, or it's something which there's no major issues, I'm willing to review it. We'll talk more in a private DM on what we're able to do, but we'll discuss that offline. Now, if you're going to be truly generous and donate $100, you'll receive a producer's credit for 5 episodes, along with a personal thank you in every episode from me for those. And as you know, I love doing this podcast, and I've been doing this for so long. And I'm going to keep doing it so an old man has to read manga with thick glasses and, more importantly, a magnifying glass. I want to thank all of you no matter what you're doing. And I'm going to keep doing this no matter what. But we can make this happen. We can fix my laptop. And anything you want to contribute, or just if you want to share this campaign, it would mean the world to me. So you could scan this QR code to go directly to the campaign site, or you could just click on the links in the show notes below to get to our website to help me raise a bit of money to hopefully fix this awesome laptop and fix this podcast. So with that in mind, let's actually get back to old Zan, new Zan, who's currently reviewing a manga. So let's get back to it. So yeah, thanks, Past Zan. So officially our GoFundMe is live. You can check out the show notes for the information, or click on the link, which I'm going to be putting right here, right now. So let me know. Tell me your thoughts. And definitely, if you can help us out with anything, telling a friend, or just if you want to donate, thank you all the same. Remember, I love doing this podcast, and I'm going to keep doing this regardless. So I'm an old man who has to read manga with thick glasses and a magnifying glass. And I want to thank every single one of you who has checked out this podcast for the last, well, it's now going on 17 years. 17 years of doing this podcast. I love doing this. I'm going to keep going as long as I can. Thank you so much for checking it out, watching it, and listening, and reading along with me and all the different manga that we've talked about and all the movies we've watched. So yeah, definitely support us in one way we can. But enough of the shilling, enough of the begging, enough of the holding out my hat. Let's get to the part that you've all been waiting for. And what are we talking about? We are talking about that one, that only, the Wheel of Manga! Yes, friends, the Wheel of Manga. Except no substitute. Now, what is the Wheel of Manga? The Wheel of Manga is a Wheel of Fortune with 10 slots on it. And what I've done is I've assigned a manga title to each of the 10 slots. So we're going to spin the wheel. Whatever number it lands on, the manga that's in that spot is the one we're going to review in the next episode of the Spiraken Manga Review, episode 575. 575, ladies and gentlemen. We've been doing this for quite some time, and I'm excited to talk about some of these manga, and some have been on here for a while. A couple of them are new, but I'm excited to see what we're going to review, especially with 2 of them, which I was just, surprised we haven't done yet. But let's spin and see what we're going to review in the next episode, shall we? And number 10. So in the next episode, we're going to be reviewing Yakuza Fiancé, a series which Greta's actually really addicted to, surprisingly. But wow. So we're going to talk about that more in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening, everybody, and checking us out. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Also to our producer, our first major donator, Alexander H. Thank you so much for giving us a chance and being willing to help us out. It's actually really generous and really awesome. Our first producer. So we have a producer who's helped us out, but more importantly, thank you so much. As usual, I am your host, Zan. I'm Gonzville. Catch you guys next time. And as always, keep reading manga.